can't do it at the same time. I was going to try to, but it's kind of late in my mind.
It's not working?
Hey, who can do that? Okay. This one goes forward. This one goes backward. There we go. Okay.
See, I couldn't even do that.
Oh, look, I'm about to punch you. What's up, everybody? Today, I'm excited because we are bringing to you some really cool tips, tricks, and stuff that we wish we would have known before we got started. Good opportunity to test out our new microphones.
Oh, okay.
You want to keep them entertained? All by yourself.
Yeah, what you guys don't understand is he's the fun one, I'm the boring one. So when we say to keep children entertained, we mean the big ones too, just to give you a fair warning.
It's not my fault. I don't have my phone half today.
I felt like that was geared towards me.
Oh, I thought we were talking about me.
Okay. All right. So now I'm being picked up because I'm the fun one.
No, I was just being honest.
Okay. And we are back. So you might notice a couple of little changes, little differences. First is, as you heard me say, great time for us to try out our new microphones. So we may sound different. You can also see them. And then the next thing is I raised up the camera a little bit. The other gimbal I was using was overheating, so we figured why not just use something that doesn't require any power and is not going to overheat. So it's on a little stand, tripod, with some extra lighting. By the way, these Holy Land, if we sound awesome, that's because of these Holy Land microphones. And if you want to try them yourself, I'll be sure to drop a link in the description for you so you can try them out for your blogging needs. So,
You say blog?
blog, yes.
Okay.
It's video log versus B, whatever the B stands for. Anybody know what the B stands for in blog?
No.
I don't either. Let us know. Drop a comment if you know what the B for blog stands for. But I know the V, as in Victor, stands for video. Video log.
Okay. You're the one that does all of this. I don't do social media like that. I said like that. I have TikTok. I watch TikToks. I don't make any TikToks. I have Facebook. Very rarely do I post on Facebook. And then that's it.
Yeah, that's true. But when I say she be on TikTok, she be on TikTok.
For like an hour. I read. Don't let him lie. I read all day. I had to do Kindle Unlimited because I have over 2,000 books in my library that I paid for.
Can you put in your earbuds, please? Because drop in the AirPods. I'm trying to work here. All I hear is your TikToks playing.
That's at night. I'm going to bed. I'm allowed.
Just scrolling. Nobody reads that fast. Okay? She may fool you. She ain't fooling me. I know mom reads fast. In case you didn't hear it, Chloe said mom does. I know she reads fast, but not that fast. Right. That's how you TikTok. Gotta have tongue.
I didn't do that.
Hey, you enjoying the video so far? What I mean, are you enjoying the video so far? Of course you are. You wouldn't still be here if you weren't, right? Right. So do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, right? Make sure you hit that bell icon so that way you get notified anytime I upload a brand new video. And by all means, drop comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know if there's something that you want me to make a video about. It doesn't matter. Just drop a comment and let's have a conversation. I'm out. Anywho, let's stop getting sidetracked. Let's get back on pace here. Things that we wish we would have known before we got started. Okay. So one thing that we actually did know, but I want to make sure that you know, is before you buy a truck, if you already have a truck, you're kind of too late unless you plan on getting rid of that truck. But before you buy your truck, go research your RV first. Reason is you want to make sure that you have enough truck to pull your RV.
But I will say for dry weight, we're one of the heaviest dry weights. Obviously it's a 45-foot trailer, so we are up there. So automatically we were going to need the biggest one anyways. But you also have to think about your truck itself, because you have to add that in on your towing as well. So however much your truck is on top of your trailer fully loaded with water and everything else, that's another thing. I didn't know that when I first started researching. I just automatically knew that I needed the biggest because of how big our RV was. So make sure you research the weight with the truck versus just the weight of the trailer itself.
Right, weight with the truck, the weight with your water, with all your tanks full, with gas. If you have a toy hauler, we have gas for the generator. We also have fuel for all of our toys. So, when those tanks are full, it can get heavy real fast. And then you have all the stuff you're bringing in, all your food, all your clothes, all your toys, and anything else in between. If you're living it full time, you're basically going to bring a house with you. It may not be the whole house, but you're bringing enough to live with you. So it can get heavy real fast. So make sure that you are definitely doing your research before you buy the truck.
I actually had one person tell us, we were talking to them a couple nights ago here, if you don't know what your full weight is, fully loaded, drive one of the scales on where the semis go. And that'll give you an idea. That way, if you add or subtract anything weight-wise, motorcycles, new toys, or just to know exactly what you weigh.
Oh, another thing which she just made me think about was if you buy a toy hauler, I'm not sure if it applies to the travel trailers as well, but I know for a fact it applies to the fifth wheel. If you buy a toy hauler, you need to put toys in it in order to
ride
smoothly and balance out the actual fifth wheel. So we didn't know that. The first time we hooked up, we had the back end was squatting hard because we didn't have any of the motorcycles or anything in there. And it was, nose heavy. As soon as I put one motorcycle in, which is, about 850 pounds.
No, they're not 800 pounds. They're about 750 each. Sorry, go ahead.
Excuse me. I read it and it was somewhere between 8 and 850 when I looked up just the general weight of them. So about 800 pounds, 850 pounds in the back. And when we moved the second time, we didn't have that squatting issue. So that's something else you need to look at too. If you're going to get a toy hauler or if you're just going to get a regular type RV, fifth wheel, or travel trailer, just make sure if you get a toy hauler, you're actually going to be hauling toys and not just using it for a spare bedroom because you won't ride right.
Actually, I am on a couple different websites on Facebook, and I found one that said If you do not haul any of your toys, put all your storage in the garage because it'll put all that weight in the back because
Right.
most of your storage is up front. So if you pull all that back and put it in the back, he said it did even it out a little bit better. I haven't done that, so I can't say myself personally, but there are quite a few different Facebook groups that I'm a part of that I kind of get ideas and learn stuff because I'm a newbie, obviously.
And that's a good place to go too. Just these Facebook groups, YouTube, which you're obviously watching now. And then, just interacting in those groups, dropping questions in there. Some of these groups have, hundreds of thousands of people in there, and somebody will respond and they'll get back to you quickly.
I will say that I get a lot, I've noticed, because like I said, I read through them. I read the questions because, hey, something that could happen to us or come up, I want to know in advance. That way it's not, what do we do? They actually have frequently asked question tab at the top. So you ain't even got to necessarily ask your question. You can just look through there and it'll give you the idea or the answers as well. I thought that was kind of neat too.
Look at that, y'all just getting bonus tips. Listen, if you are enjoying these bonus tips, I need some likes, we need comments, we need shares. If y'all are getting value out of it, by all means, show some love, right? That way we can keep doing what we're doing. That way we know that what we're doing is hitting home as well.
It's beneficial,
Yes,
not a waste
yes.
of our time or your time.
So, bigger is not always better when it comes to RVing, right? We went as big as we possibly could because we were coming from a large house and we were concerned that we were just going to be pretty much on top of each other. Originally it was 3 people, 3 dogs, 3 cats. We actually had a 4th cat that we gave to our son, and we were planning on bringing him as well, but he was a little more skittish and whatnot, so we decided that it may not be the best move for him to be picking up and moving so much. So we ended up leaving him.
Yeah.
Right. We ended up leaving him, and then come to find out, he had liver problems, and he actually just passed away 2 weeks ago. So definitely not a good plan if we would have been having him coming with us. He probably wouldn't have lasted as long as he did. So the traveling 9 was originally traveling 10.
Right? And now we're down to 8.
And then, we lost Odin, which if you have followed us for any amount of time, you should see in our videos, we talked about how Odin was hit by a car. So that's something else you want to take into consideration too, how you're going to secure your pets. Because they will get out as soon as they get an opportunity to get out.
And believe it or not, it wasn't even something that we ever would have thought of. We had both of our, what are they called, patios down, and my cats destroyed our all-weather doors on
The back patio.
the back patio, and they actually got out that way. They didn't actually get a door open. They just got the plastic and the stuff ruined enough to slip out of. So that's something else, especially if you have cats you want to think about, is maybe replacing them. Believe it or not, we do not have that patio down at all anymore until I replace all that with plexiglass, just because I don't trust my cats.
Yep, and even if we have the screen doors open, we're still,
On top
watching
of it.
vigilantly because they will claw at the screen. But yeah, so bigger is not always better because we went way out
Yeah.
talking about all the extra bodies that we have in here. So now it's 8 bodies that we have in here. So we're thinking we need to have more room, and it's nice having the extra space. But that extra space comes at a cost. So you also have to consider how much fuel you're going to be burning through as you drive. Right now, when we're towing, like 8 miles to the gallon, which is ridiculously low. But we were also doing more city driving than we were highway driving, so that should come up some.
It also limits where we're allowed to go. Ours is so big, like most state parks don't have places we can go, which state parks are cheaper to stay in. So yeah, there's that too, because we're gonna end up spending more money on sites than most people, because we have to have what's classified as a premium site. We can't do anything smaller. Them sites are automatically more money.
Yeah, the premium or super sites. These guys had basically the biggest sites they have, and they charge more for having those big sites. I know there's a lady in this same part who has just a travel trailer who's paying about $400 less a month than we are, just because she doesn't have, you know, the biggest, baddest RV on the block. But whatever the case may be, bigger is not always better. And then you gotta look at your power, you know, for heating and cooling, and you're gonna spend more money on propane. One thing that we did find out was that the garage where Chloe sleeps at doesn't actually have heat supplied to it. So when you turn over to the heat, the AC turns on and just blows cold air in. It doesn't click on the propane and actually furnace and blow heat in there. So we definitely have to have a space heater for her, so that's another electric cost. So on top of having the gas cost for running the heat, we also have to run an electric heater for her just to make sure she stays warm. And then also, this, from what I found out, I thought it was standard because, you know, this is the first RV. We just like, let's get right into it. We thought it was standard for some RVs to have the 50 and 30 amp plugs. Well, I guess they added on the 30 amp here, and the 30 amp just runs the AC in the garage. So that's another thing we have to look at too, because now we can't just go stay at any RV park. We got to make sure they have a connection for 50 and 30 so we can run the AC power back in the garage as well.
And believe it or not, the 50 amp are a lot rarer, I guess is the word I'm going to look for, because most RVs are only with 30. They do a 30 and a 30 or a 30 and a 15. A lot of the sites that I was calling before we found this one, they didn't have the 50 amp plugs. So, and you can't, they have it to where you can interchange like a 50 amp down to a 30 amp, but then you can't run your RV like you should. You have to like only run one thing at a time, and it's just not worth it. You'd be blowing fuses left and right.
Yeah, especially with us, because
we run everything.
We consume a lot of power. All 3 ACs going, microwave going, fridge going. You know, we're charging up all these devices, TV. Like, yeah, the TV's on right now, and no one's even watching it. Boop. Let's shut that down. So yeah, just make sure that you're really considering when you're thinking about going bigger. Really know what it is you plan to do with this RV and where you want to go, because it can be even more costly and it can really be inconveniencing if you're going too big. We're happy with it. I'm sure if I bought another one, I'd buy one, you know, just as big, maybe a 40 foot instead of 45, but it would be a large one still. So another thing you got to look out for too is going from RV park to RV park when you're traveling around. You want to plan ahead and plan early, because RVing is popular. We didn't realize how popular it was. When I had the idea, I thought it was a more unique idea, right? I knew people live full-time in RVs, but I didn't know that there were so many people doing it. I just never, I wasn't in the culture at all. I just was like, hey, how can I travel? How can I travel more? I have an online business, so I can afford to do it. What's the best way to do it? So we're like, RV all day long. I didn't even consider so many people were doing it. So when we went to go book, we're running into so many issues of people already being booked. Even 4 or 5 months in advance, they were already booked out, especially for like in Daytona Beach. They had the Biketoberfest that just passed last week. They were booked up for that whole week. We couldn't find anyone anywhere over there. Even in the city where we are, we only found this spot here because they have 2 different prices, 2 different tiers of prices. So if you're here for 6 months or longer, then you get a discounted rate. But if you're not here, you get that, you know, transient rate of $1,100, $1,200 a month, and people just didn't want to pay $1,100, $1,200 a month. It was really expensive.
Now, I will say it depends on the state, because I don't think going to, that's middle state, I don't know.
Idaho.
They're not going to have as many issues during travel season is obviously Florida is. Florida is really big in wintertime, also because of snowbirds. A lot of snowbirds use RVs. I didn't realize that. I thought they actually had homes down here. My grandparents had one down here, so I thought that's kind of how it all was.
Right.
So that's a lot of the issue down here, especially during the winter. And they book a year in advance. Like, that's something that if you come down during the winter months, even for a weekend, you're going to have issues. You're definitely going to have to call around. You can't just show up and expect to find something immediately.
Yep. And if you're full-time RVing, you probably don't want to be up north when it's wintertime. Maybe we'll try it at some point. I'm not rushing to try it.
I don't like cold, so I have no issue with it. That's why I moved to Florida originally.
Yep, have no problem with trying it. But yeah, so the RV parks will fill up fast, so just make sure you check it out, especially if it's going to be a peak season.
On top of that, you don't want to get somewhere and something happen in your last minute. You always want to plan in advance.
Right, and then in your planning too, make sure that you're planning to drive down RV-friendly routes. Not every road, every bridge is tall enough for your RV to pass under. So make sure you know how tall your RV is, especially once it's all hooked up. And then you also want to make sure that when you route yourself, you use some kind of an RV route planner. I can drop a link in the description for the one I use. I don't remember the name of it, or else I just tell you, but I got to look it up. Yep. So yeah, make sure you plan ahead. And then you also make sure you plan ahead for those unexpected expenses, like a tire blowing out or some repairs that come up. When we plugged up to move over here, we noticed that our tires are not aligned, so we got to get them aligned. I also noticed we got sensors that hook up to our truck as far as the tire pressure goes, but we got to get those installed. It's a big piece. I thought it was just something that went on the outside of the tire, but no, it goes on the inside of the tire. So they got to unmount the tires, put the piece in with the stem, and then mount the tires back and balance and rotate it, whatever, and put them all on.
That's not even mounting, that's just, you gotta dismantle the whole thing.
Yeah, you gotta pull the tire off, you gotta take it off the rim, and then you gotta put it back on, mount it back on the rim.
The way you were talking, I was understanding just taking it off the actual RV, so.
Maybe that's because you're not a tire person. Don't you side eye me. Yeah, you can't side eye me back here, can you? You gotta turn your head. Hey, don't go that far back. I know these things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you have, that's an unexpected expense. Oh, another unexpected expense. We have 2 motorcycles, but we only have enough D-rings in the floor
For one.
So we got to get that taken care of. We either install more D-rings. What we're actually looking at doing is the E-Track, and there's another one that Melissa found after we already bought the E-Track. It's made specifically for
bike.
Harleys.
A bike?
But it grabs the bottom of the frame of the Harley.
There's something you got to mount to the bottom of the frame of the Harley, and you just like push your bike in and it locks in so it doesn't go anywhere. You don't actually have to tie it down to anything.
Which is pretty cool. We may do that in the future, but for now, we got the E-Track already. We're just going to lay that down. We go Monday to have that installed. So,
and our backup camera.
We got backup camera. A few other things. We got to get the arm on the awning replaced because it's about to snap in half. There's a few things we got to get done. So maybe we'll make a video about that because I don't know if they have hookups out there now. We may just be boondocking.
And that's going to be interesting with all the pets. So.
Yep. While they're repairing it, we got to figure out where we're going to take all the pets.
Sucks to be them because I have to work, so I'm guaranteed to have all the amenities.
I can always just go to her job and sit right at her countertop.
Except you can't bring the pets.
Oh, they coming. They coming. Only because you over here, They coming.
Okay.
And then like for us, an unexpected expense, running monthly, you got light. Sometimes you have to pay water. We did not realize, didn't plan that we needed to pay for light and water. Because usually when you go to a hotel, you don't pay for light and water, but since we knew nothing about RVing, we got to pay for light and water. And then any of the equipment, there's a lot of stuff that we had to buy. Wheel chocks, and we still got to get blocks.
Leveling, the snap pad things.
Snap pads, yeah, leveling blocks. I just talked about the E-Track.
The backup camera.
That was $400 by itself. Satellite.
And the little
internet satellite. That's something else you gotta account for too. How are you gonna get internet?
The little thing for the front hitch. To
stabilizer. I mean, there's just so many little things that we bought. We spent money on. Right. So just plan for those kind of unexpected things. All right. Expect a lot of things to go wrong. Don't expect it to be just smooth sailing. Once again, everybody, when they think about stuff, they think of it with like the rose-colored glasses. You don't really think about the stuff that is going to go wrong, like the pets getting out, like a toilet being clogged. What else? There's something else that kind of went wrong. Just now we had a threshold pop up when the screw heads broke. Our TV, we had to replace it, which made me remember I never even did the video about that. But the TV broke and it had a stripped screw head.
I think that the dealership did that too, because that was the original mount TV everything.
They probably did. It was horrible. I mean, I have to actually edit the video so you can see what we're talking about. But yeah, I recorded everything and I haven't even edited the video yet. Forgot all about it. But we got this TV. It took us a while to replace it because no one wanted to deal with the strip screw.
It was months.
So yeah, it was like 8 weeks, 9 weeks. We just kind of left that TV sitting there. It was half on, half off, just kind of yeah. We weren't even dealing with that TV. But just a lot of things that goes wrong, expected to go wrong. We didn't expect that our lot was going to flood. I can put a link to that video up here. I don't know which side it is. Whichever one I'm pointing to is the right one. Ignore the other side. But we had to move unexpectedly because we were walking out into, no flood.
Deep water, yeah.
Right. In the camera, like the camera angle showed it like it looked like it was like nothing, but it was water, like especially before we got the camera on it. Like after it rained, that whole field was flooded, and you were walking in ankle deep water. Just take the dogs out to go to the bathroom.
Coming home from work, that was always lovely.
Right. So just expect things to go wrong and be ready for them when they do. Keep a cool head, stay level, don't let your emotions get the best of you. Love you.
We are discussing
that. If you're handy, that's great. If you're not, pick up some DIY skills, because you're definitely going to need to be able to repair some stuff on your own, because booking repair time with these dealers or whatnot, with these repairmen, it's not easy. We called multiple people. Some people say they'll come, they won't show up. Other people say they only service certain RV parks. Other people just don't even answer. They don't respond. And I finally just got an appointment with the dealer that we bought it from. And even that was a month and a half out before we can get in. So we're looking 6 weeks just to get in.
And he normally doesn't even work on our type of RVs. He usually does the Class A, doesn't he?
Yeah, they build the Class A and they work on the Class A. But, RV and RV, I guess. These guys know how to do it, so.
Yeah, we got lucky because a lot of places would be like, no, we don't work on them.
Right. So quick tip, all right? Stay local before you start to travel if you're going full time. You want to get used to the RV without trying to get used to, some strange settings. I know we were still kind of local. We were 30 minutes away from where we used to live, Melissa was still able to go back and forth to work. I was still able to go back and forth to work when I was working for Pizza Hut as well.
But we have family here, so if something were
Right.
to happen, and you kind of want that because that's a fallback. If something happened with the RV and for some reason we can't stay there for the night, we have family we can go to. If you're traveling right away full time, you're going to be in another state with nobody. Where if you, now not everybody's in that situation, but most people have family where they're at.
Family or friends or, you know.
Somebody.
You know, even if you don't where you're at, go to where they are. It's an RV. It will move.
Yeah.
Just go to where you have some family or friends, some kind of support system, just in case. Another quick tip, slow it down. Make your stay nice and long. You spend more on daily than you would on weekly rentals than you would on monthly. And if you would, if you just signed the annual lease. So keep that in mind as you start to travel. You can slow it down, take your time. It doesn't have to be visit the whole country in a year. It could be 2 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 20 years. Whatever it needs to be in order for you to afford to move across the country. Take your time and explore. Really get out there. That's what we kind of plan on doing.
Talk to locals.
Hmm?
Well, I was going to say talk to locals because they'll give you spots that you would never find without speaking to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, you can talk about just like sights to see and
Yeah.
yeah.
Because everybody goes see some main attractions, but let's be honest, the main attractions after so long kind of are boring. You want to find them hidden gems. The hidden gems are, there's places, I'm from Michigan, there's places in Michigan I never knew about. I can't wait to go back and explore because they look absolutely awesome. Somewhere I would love to go and visit, go see.
Another place where Facebook groups come into play and other apps, RV apps, definitely will help you there on that.
And your pets. Oh, I seen one. So make sure your pets are occupied if you leave them somewhere. Personally, I don't have the issue as far as my dogs. We actually started crating them again because we are having some issues as far as one of them being a butthead. But I seen somebody actually took a picture of their dog's head through the door of their RV because he was bored. So make sure the pets are good. I think that's pretty much it.
Crating your dogs is a good idea if you're going to be leaving them alone for a while. Like you heard us say, we're crating our dog again because he's a 2-year-old puppy and you know, he wants to play and do all other types of stuff. He wants to play with the cats and the cats don't want to play with him. They don't mind being around him, but he's too big to play with.
He does too rough too.
Yeah, he's got you know, too big of a bite for them to play with. So they don't play with him, they just run from him. And then we have old girl, Clarabelle. She's 13 years old now. She don't want to play. I don't know what that is in dog years. Most apply that by 7, and it's up there, 60s, 70s.
It's 91.
91?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. Did you do that math in your head real fast?
10 times 7 is 70. 3 times 7 is 21. Adam.
Well, okay. Well, that's the easy way to do it. You know my easy way to do it? Calculator.
And again, that's why I'm good with the math and the reading, and you're good with all the other subjects.
How'd I get 19? All right, so that's it. If we did not cover every single thing, which I know we didn't, if you have a tip, if you have something that you know we missed out on, drop in the comments, let us know, share it with everyone. Don't hold out, don't be stingy. Just let us know what it is. That way we can have a tip too, because look, I'm all for those tips.
Whatever is going to make my life easier. And it's kind of the whole purpose of these videos, is the educational ones as far as this goes. I talk to everybody. I'll start a conversation just because I'm like, hey, what's that for? And what's the use?
Right?
I do it all the time. It drives people nuts.
Drive
That's it.
people nuts.
Well, your daughter gets mad because
Oh, I got you. Okay, I'm with you now. I wasn't on par, but now we are in the same boat and we are rowing the same direction. Okay, because before I can't do it at the same time. I was gonna try to, but it's kind of late in my mind.
Is not working?
Hey, who can do that? Okay, this one goes forward. This one goes backward. There we go. Okay.
See, I couldn't even do that.
Oh, look, I'm about to punch you. All right. I hope if y'all found this very, very fun and educational and you got some value out of it. Again, give me some likes, drop comments, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any extra tips. And we are out.